Okay, hello everybody. Good night, good evening. 6 people are watching. Nobody's in the chat. Okay. Paul, how you doing? You're coming here in November, correct, Paul? For my 3-day master classes sometime in November, a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm sure you could take off Friday from school. Call in sick. Michael Lewis will be here and a few other guys, and we'll have a grand old time. Hard to hear me. Is this better? Can you hear me now? Hey, Steve, can you hear me? Paul, can you hear me? Testing. 1, 2, test. I haven't come up with an exact Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Probably the Thanksgiving weekend. Okay, I got it now. Okay. How you doing, Ed? All right. I had the microphone on the computer. I'm sorry. I just get overwhelmed. I got to be honest with everybody here. You know, being that it's summertime, you have a family. If the kids want to go fishing, how you doing, Mike? Okay. Everybody has the PDFs. And they come up with something a little bit more interesting, but on the same kind of concept or the same approach. Like I said, I need to be honest. You know, it's like summertime. I've been a little laxed with this whole thing, but I promise, as of next week, we will be on the money and we'll be smoking. So just bear with it tonight. I will be back Monday afternoon, 1 p.m. Okay? And the 1 p.m. lessons are for probably just, for kind of for beginners and revisiting some of the things that we've done. And they'll be on the drum pad and the snare drum and the drum set. And they will be recorded. So if you not able to make the afternoon lesson, you just come onto my channel and you'll see. I'll label it whatever I did. The paradiddle, the levels, by that, all that good stuff. So that's basically for the 1 p.m. lessons. The 8:30 p.m. lessons are going to be for the more seasoned, advanced players. Now, I'm assuming, and I shouldn't do that, but I'm going to. Everybody that's in this chat at the moment knows how to read, or basic reading. We're not talking about portraits in rhythm, or we're not talking about sight reading the drum chart. We're talking about just, from the books, the Buddy Rich book, the Syncopation book, and a few other books. I just need a yes from everybody. Who doesn't know how to read? Just say, I don't, or I'm iffy, or whatever, or I need to review it or revisit it. So I need to know what I'm doing with everybody at night, how I could gear my lessons. So could we get some response on that? Now you have 3 sheets on the PDFs tonight. And I did a little reversal on this. And this is the way I know you can read, Paul. It depends on how well, though, okay? And that's okay. Michael, Paul, I know Ed does. How about Steve? All right, so we're in business here. Now, the way I do teach reading sometimes, a lot of people just don't understand the math, the basic math. A whole is equal to 4 quarters, or 8/8 notes, or 16/16 notes, so on and so forth. And it's all broken up. So you guys understand all of that. So this is one of the methods I use for teaching. If you look at the PDF, and you'll see the first line is the figure. So I'm going to do it slow. 1 E and play E, boom. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Now you guys could read that. That's not a problem. But for those who can't, here's how I teach it. I said we're going to make it a linear line on one surface. So what I do is I say, okay, play the figure with the right hand only and fill in the blanks to make it a constant 16th note flow with the left. So you go to line 2 on that page and you'll see 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the. Simple. That's to make sure or test yourself if you're uncertain of the figure. Now, I did that with eliminating, playing the figure with the right hand only and filling in with the left. Now I reversed it. So what I did, now what's not there to make it a linear flow of 16ths, I'm filling in the blanks with my right hand and playing the figure with my left. So we have 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and Simple process, and it's foolproof. You know, there's like a lot of other guys in here. Get into the chat who's not into the chat. Say hello, and let's get to the lesson. So now what I did, I took the right side, which is the first 2 lines, and I applied what we did last week with the grid as a funk pattern. Now we're using the bass drum, the hi-hat, the right hand on the hi-hat, the snare drum for accents, and ghost notes. Simple. Now, I took that figure, and the first one, that's number 1, I'm starting the grid now, instead of on the downbeat, on the 1. Okay, now, I'm not going to put the accents in yet. I'm just going to go through it slow. 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E. I said no accents. 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the. That's the first guy. Now, that figure is there. Okay? But I applied it to the grid. I'm making it a linear line. I go to the second guy, and I say, okay, let's start the grid on the and. So now I have 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the. Now I'm not going to be playing these up tempo. I'm just going to do them slow to show you where I'm coming from and what I did. I took the figure, made it linear. And it's there, it's inside. So everything is in harmony, everything is in, it's in conjunction with the linear concept. But the placement of the bass drum and the hi-hat, the top and the bottom, the accent and the ghost notes establishes a certain kind of feel. Now, I take number 3 and I start the grid now on the duh. So I have 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the. Now you got some funky things going on. Do we understand where I'm coming from? The way I came up with this figure, you're going to laugh. And the way I come up with figures is, I don't smoke in my house. I still smoke cigarettes and whatever. And I sit outside and I think. And I said, okay, let's do it this way. And I took the figure. And I came up with the figure when I was outside having a smoke. I came in and I wrote it. And yeah, I'm sorry, guys, I haven't gotten back to you. But guys, email me your snail mail address, your address, and I'll try to send each one. Whoever emails me first gets the program. If you have a Mac, it's not going to work. Ed, you have a Mac, I'm sorry. So I'm going to send you the Encore, or they call it the GVox program. Okay? And I'll get it to you. Now, line 4 is the entire grid. So we have 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the. Got it? Now I took the same figure on the next page, and I did it to the left side. Same figure, but a whole different thing going on. It's amazing. Okay? It's an amazing system. I think it's to take what you've learned from the stick control book, or the Buddy Rich book, or the syncopation book, and actually apply it to something that you're really, really going to use. It kind of motivates you to go further with the reading or the books and to do things like this. Now, you guys can take something from the syncopation book and write your own thing out. No problem. That's why you guys are going to get the program. Now, Ed, you're the guy that has that music score. You can write me out a figure for you that you want to do, both right-sided and left-sided, and send it to me. Now, Michael and Paul, you don't have a program when I get it to you. How about you, Steve? Do you have a program? Steve, do you have a program? This delay drives me crazy. Okay, now let's go to the Linear Concepts 102. Let me get that. Part 2. Same figure, but now it's totally different. The feel, the texture, the whole concept, it's the same. I've taken the same approach, but with this figure. So, let's do it. 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and 4 E and the. Again, that's starting on the E. You know, there's such a delay. Steve, I forgot what I asked you and you responded no. I apologize. You don't have a music program? You have a PC or a Mac? All right, let's go to number 2. Man, this delay takes the whole thing out of the lesson. Number 2. Okay, we have 1, a ghost note, E, and the 2, E, and the 3, E, and the 4, E, and the 1, E, and the 2, E, and the 3, E, and the 4, E, and the. All right, I'll send it to you too. So email me your address. Like I said, Steve, whoever emails me first gets the program. You mail it back to me now. Don't let me come jump on a plane and come and get you guys. You could have the music score. It's a free program. You can get on the web. I'll send you the link for that one. Okay, who's not in the chat, please get in the chat. We've been missing Ross for a while. I don't know. The guy's a good player. Ross is a really good player, and he gets a lot of gigs. So I have Paul, Mike, and Steve. Okay, coming in November. Where do you live, Steve? We're going to have a 3-day masterclass, or you want to call it a mini camp. Whatever you want to call it. Where do you live, Steve? Okay. Oh. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do next lesson, I'm going to nail these down really good. I'm giving them to you. Oh, you're not far. You could drive here. Very good. Would you be interested in a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday camp and get with Mike and Paul, get a room? They're inexpensive around here. Or share a room with one of the guys. If you're interested, the cost of the camp is $200 a day. That's from 10 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And you take an hour lunch. I don't think that's too expensive. So if you did three guys, 4 guys, we'll have a good thing going on. 2 sets of drums, hand technique, coordination, soloing, and just discussing the language of drumming. Would you be interested, Steve? I know Paul and Michael are. All right. Now, like I said, next week I'm going to nail this for you guys. You have actually 4 or 5 sheets to hang out with. Okay? I don't know the dates yet, Steve. We'll get to the dates. But you have 4 or 5 sheets. I'm just giving you the sheets now, explaining to you what I did, how I did it. We're going to take some really crazy figures, and we're going to do right side and left side. And the more you do these, the more accustomed you are. And the slower you do them, the better off you are. And get them stronger. Oh, fall asleep. And you get stronger. Okay? And you'll start to cook on these. Now, these are going to open up a lot of new doors. Paul, Ed, Mike, and Steve, do you like this? This kind of concept, this kind of lesson. And like I said, on 1 o'clock, it's hand technique, drum pad, 1 surface, and whatever I have to do. Do we all like this? Ed, Steve, Mike, Paul. No? Okay. I won't do it anymore. Paul, I thought you wanted to get into the jazz. Ding, dong, ding. Okay. We're going to get a ton of this stuff. And we're going to start doing it with a different key. We're going to make the left hand the hi-hat. Like this. And right hand the snare. We're going to take these open-handed. So there's a lot coming, and it's going to be a long, hot summer, and before you know it, it's going to be September. And we'll continue on this stuff. I want to gear the nighttime lessons to the more advanced students to understand the language, understand where I'm coming from, and during the day, it's like a recruiting station, you know. Talk to these guys from Nigeria, from Canada, from Europe, you know, they don't understand the level system. They don't understand sticking positions, how to do the Morello book correctly, how George Lawrence Stone wanted the stick control book to be done, so on and so forth. So we're really going to get into this at night. And we're going to change it up. Besides the funk, we're going to get into some jazz patterns with the stick control book and the syncopation book. And again, I'm going to reiterate, what we do in the syncopation book, I'm going to show you that the syncopation book is actually the stick control book. Okay? Now, do we have any questions on what we did? I'm giving them to you. I don't want to overwhelm you. Practice them, and Monday we cook them. We nail them. We're going to burn it up a little bit, bring the tempo up. We're going to put the metronome on. There's like a hesitation going on here. Oh, please, YouTube, do me right. Any questions to this point? Anything that you don't understand where I'm getting this from? We're going to do a lot of different things with these figures. Right-handed, left-handed, reverse. And, you know, you just can keep going on and on and on. It never ends. You're not going to be playing this particular pattern with a particular song. But what this does, it opens up a tremendous amount of doors that you can play all the funk that you want. I got a few more minutes. This computer drives me crazy. No questions. Ed, do you have any questions? Okay, no questions to Paul. So we're going to come up with a date for November. November is good, I think, for Paul. So I'm going to gear everything around Paul because Paul's a school teacher. And he has to be at school 5 days a week. That's okay. So when Paul gets, we're going to do the first Friday, Saturday, and Sunday he has free. We're going to schedule the lessons, the dates. How's that sound, Paul? I don't really know how much a plane ticket costs from Illinois to Jersey. Probably about $300-400, maybe $500 round trip. And I know you're rich, you could afford it. You were a school teacher. I know, Mike. Steve is he's thinking about it. Paul's okay. Good. So we got it going on now. We need Steve. What is this? You're taking the patterns and moving them over a 16th permutations. Well, that's what I did. I did 4 of them. Is that what you're talking about? I used a grid. I don't know exactly what that is. I'll tell you what, Ed, can you write that out for me and send it to me? What you're doing? That might open up a lot more doors. And see, already your doors are opened to new ideas. Okay, I will be back Monday, 1 p.m., this channel, and 8:30 p.m., this channel, and Wednesday also. So you have all weekend. You have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to get these things happening. Can you write them out for me, Ed? Thanks. And we are going to go to the Zildjian Company, I think the last week of August. Maybe if you want to go, Mike, we can go up there together and we could hang out with Ed. Is that okay with you, Ed? You're welcome. I hope you enjoyed the lesson, guys. If there's no questions, I'm going to hook it up. Lock it up, rather. You're welcome. Hey, Mike, you want to come up to the Zildjian? Hey, come on. You want to come up to the Zildjian Company? Where you going, Ed? We'll be here at the end of August. If worst case scenario, maybe the first week of September. And we'll drive everybody at the hotel crazy. We'll bring the drum pads and we'll practice in the room. Okay, with all this being said, I'm going to lock it up. I will be back Monday, 1:30, at 1 o'clock rather. It's more or less for the beginners or intermediate or whoever, and I'll just play it. I'll wing it and play it by ear. You know, some guys, I'll tell you. Okay, a cruise. Take a life jacket. Okay, guys. We'll see everybody Monday.